Looks like we're recording. Welcome aboard. Okay, 8.3. Buy or lease a vehicle for your business. I'm going to just read through some terms, things you should be aware of. Now, many businesses need a vehicle in order to operate. If you need a car, truck, or anything else, you have a few different payment options. You can buy the vehicle, paying the full purchase price, including the tax. You can pay a down payment and take out a loan for the rest of the purchase price, and you'll have monthly payments on the loan. Or you can lease the vehicle, making regular monthly payments over a fixed term. But if you lease a vehicle, you generally sign an agreement that might have the following conditions. The lease term, that's the length of time. The lease rate, the amount of repayments. Taxes and interest charges are usually built into those payments. A security deposit, payment made at the start of the lease term, which is refunded though if it's returned in good condition at the end. A kilometer allowance, now this is the kicker a lot of times. The maximum distance that you can drive over the time of the lease, otherwise you pay a penalty. Delivery charge, a payment made at the start of the lease term to cover environmental fees and taxes. And an option to purchase. You might be able to buy the vehicle at the end of your lease based on what they call the residual value. So when deciding between buying and leasing, you need to consider the cost of each option, how you plan to use the vehicle, and how long you plan to keep it. Let's take a look here. Roger, who lives in Manitoba, plans on purchasing a 3/4 ton truck. The purchase price is $29,499, but he also has to pay 5% GST, 7% PST. What's the total price of this truck? So you got to figure out your GST and PST and then add them. You could do it as two separate chunks, or you could add them together as 12%, 5 and 7. Which way did you do it? 5 and 7 separate? Yeah, we'll go with that then. You realize what I'm saying, you could add them together and just do all the taxes. So here, you can set it up as a ratio, or you can set it up as a multiplying kind of thing. GST, let's see. That's going to equal the 29,099 times, I'm going to use a bracket for times 5%. 5 out of 100, 0.05 really. The GST is going to be $1,474.95. The PST. If you're watching on the video, remember to pause and try these yourself and then watch. Check your answers. 29,499 times the 7%. 0.07 is what that is. If you type 7 divided by 100. Multiply that out and you got 2,064.93. Add those together with the total, or to get the total price, you add it with the pre-tax price of the truck. So GST plus PST, total price. I've got, Jasmine, you will tell me, 33,038, right? And 88 cents is what I got. Good. Doing something right today. Add the two taxes. Oh. Just writing this out. If someone who watches will look at that. If that ever happens. $33,038.88. The total price of that vehicle. Now, B, Roger doesn't have enough money saved. He can make a down payment of 10 grand and then take out a bank loan for the rest. Bank offers him 4.5% interest per year. Per annum is annual, so year. Compounded annually, so once a year. For a 4-year term. That's actually quite rare that you I haven't come across very many annual interest rate periods, compounding. What will Roger pay in total for the truck? and use that formula that I give their compound interest. So let's see here with B. First, you figure out the amount borrowed, the amount he pays down off of there. So the amount borrowed will be called the principal, right? The principal, the 88 cents minus the 10 grand he has. So that's going to be pretty easy math, 23. 88. That's what he has to borrow. So put that into a formula. Compound interest formula, which was given above. A equals, there's a dollar amount, I forgot the dollar sign. 23, 88. 1 plus. Now the rate as a decimal, 4.5% is 0.045. The n value is how many compounding periods in a year, and there's 1 in this. It makes the math easy. And n times t is 1 times 4 years. So 1 compounding period a year. This turns into 23,038. I'll save that. 1 plus 0.05 divided by 1 is 1.045. Yeah. To the power of 4. Type that in your calculator. Multiply it by the 23,000 stuff. You should have gotten. What'd you get? 29 cents. Good. Now, I was going to just say, now what's the total cost of this option? Because it is more if you borrow money, but it's totally necessary to borrow money because you don't have it. The total cost is going to be 37. Look at that. Just a quick comparison here, right? It's about it's almost $4,500 more to borrow the money, but you can pay for it over 4 years, so it's probably worth it. Otherwise, you're not buying the vehicle at all. It costs money to borrow one. Now that's buying a vehicle. This, considering a lease. Francine needs a van for her catering company. She's found one that costs $25,675, including all fees and taxes. 2 options. She can lease the van for 4 years, $450 a month with a security deposit of $2,000. Remember, that's always returned if it's in good shape, and a delivery charge of $529.96. Or she can use $2,529.96 as a down payment, take out a loan, 3.15%, compounded monthly for 4 years. And A, how much does it cost to lease this van for the 4 years? If Francine damages the van and doesn't get her security deposit back, though, so we know that we have to add in that $2,000. Have you worked that one through?
No,
yeah. Okay, I'll see if we match them. So, 4 years times the 12 months in a year is going to give you 48 payments. 48 months, right? So 48 payments. Now, let's just see here. Your monthly payments, if you add them all together, all the payments, it's going to equal the 48 payments of, what was it, 450? Yeah, 450. That's going to equal 21 grand, 600. Plus, though, So I'm going to take that, the total cost, like you were saying, the 2,000. Here's all the payments added together, the 21,600. Says she's damaged the vehicle, so she loses her deposit, so 2,000. She doesn't get that returned. Plus delivery charge, right? 529. So the total cost for her, 24. Yeah. Great. That damage is costly. Now, I do want you to have some words down here too, like do you have something labeled like total cost or something? So it's clearly identified always. Make sure you do have something labeled so I can tell you know which number is which. And how much do you need to borrow in option B? I'll just take a second here recording. You'll probably listen to this recording here and let me help you. Yeah? You use this on your calculator. Where's your cosine? Second function or shift. -1. Does yours go like this? Yeah, and then put your 0.9. Okay. And I'll see if you're on degree mode. Yeah, that looks about right. 17 degrees. Yep.
Thank you.
Tiana, if you hear yourself on this video right now, it's like you're going back in time. That was you. On May 8th. Anyways. B. Calculate the total cost of purchasing the van. So not leasing, but purchasing. Including the interest on it. Okay. So you'd need to borrow. You'd have to subtract off that 2,529. Okay, right. So you total cost, need to borrow. Okay. I'll show how you got that answer, because I got that to 22,145 by taking the price, 25,675, subtracting the down payment, 2,529. So the principal, what you need to borrow, is going to be equal to, like you said, 23,145. 4 cents. So then, what's that amount over the loan? 23, 4, 5, 4, 1 plus, the interest rate was 3.15%, so as a decimal, divide by 100, so 0.315. 12 compounding periods. The end value in the formula is 12. And you got 12, NT, 12 times 4 years. Now what does that mean? Well, let's calculate it out. A equals 23,145, 4 cents. 1 point, now when you add 1 plus 1, 0, 1. Good, 0.02625. And 12 times 4 is 48. Use a calculator. You're not going to do that one here. You should get $26,248.67. So that doesn't quite answer the question. The total cost now is that 26 plus the down payment, 2,000, wasn't it? Yeah, 2,529. So the total cost is, in this scenario, 28. Now, looking at this is 28 grand, almost 29 grand. To lease it for 4 years is 24 grand. So it's almost $5,000 cheaper to lease for the 4 years. But what's the catch with a lease at the end of the 4 years? Do you own the vehicle? You got to give back and you get nothing. Whereas if you pay your 28 grand, you own it now, you don't have to make payments, so hopefully it's still working good. Costs more, but you keep it. Leasing, you got nothing at the end unless you choose to buy. C. C asks, what's the monthly payments on the loan? So if the total cost is 20, nope, not the total cost. If the amount that you borrow and pay back is 26, yeah. Yeah. 48. Yeah. 26,248. 67. This is the amount from the loan, the total amount that you pay back on the loan, divided by the 48 months that you would be paying it back. Payments are $546.85 per month. So it's basically $100 more to buy it every month. You can't swing that with your business. You might go with leasing, even though you don't own it. And that's, I'm talking about D now. Write down what you think and explain your reasoning. Owning does cost more, but no payments after 4 years, so there's an advantage if your vehicle works well. Whereas if you can't afford that extra $100 a month to buy it, maybe leasing is the better way to go. Also, maybe it's important to you to have a new vehicle every 4 years anyways, and so you go with leasing. Like some businesses, you want to have a good looking truck or whatever and replace it and only use it for 3 or 4 years and then get another one anyway, so continually leasing. Also, there might be like tax write-off incentives and stuff like this if you lease as a business write-off expense. I'm not sure, I'm not a business person. So there are some possible advantages to leasing. Now, let's see here. Oh, this one here was misprinted, Jasmine, because you got part of it. I have it fixed here, but you don't have this. Just some details. This guy's planning to lease a vehicle. So, here's what you don't have. That. The conditions of the lease. You don't have the 4-year term. The delivery charge. Oh, you do have the delivery charge given. The security deposit you don't have. Security is $500. On the misprint, I missed putting the monthly payments in there. $457.92. You do have the kilometer penalty if you go over. And the residual value. If you want to buy it at the end of the lease, that's how much it is. Okay. The monthly payments is $457.92. A 4-year term. So that made it impossible to do the question. So in this scenario, how much will it cost to lease a vehicle over a 4-year term? Assume when would return the vehicle in good condition. So that deposit, security deposit is returned. $500 returned. So don't include that in the total cost. So 4 years is 48 months, right? So your total payments would be 48 times the 457 92. It's $21,908.16. But the cost of the lease, I'm going to just put this on here, add in the actual, which one is that? The delivery charge, $629. delivery. Put that there. Why I'm doing this. And when you do that, with the delivery added here, you get an answer of the cost of the lease. $22,609.21. That's the cost of the lease. Wait a second for you. We'll look at the cost to buy this. So B, when purchases the vehicle at the end of the lease term, how much will he have to pay? Will he have paid for it? If he buys the vehicle at the end of the lease, his security deposit is returned. He's not required to pay if he goes over kilometer allowance either. You know what I didn't even check? Does he go over the kilometer allowance? I could do the math in my head. 92,000. I could see now. Works. I didn't write it down. I should have done this. If the kilometer allowance is 25,000 per year for 4 years, right? That's 4 times 25 is 100,000 allowed. Make sure you take that into account. 100,000 allowed. No penalty because he was under the limit. Just thought about that. So we don't have to add anything to our answer. If he had gone over, you'd have to add that 12 cents per kilometer penalty. Okay, cost to buy then is the cost of the lease. 22,609.21 plus the residual value, 13,000. $36,000, $489.21. Okay. Now the C question. If Wen buys the vehicle instead of leasing it, it'll cost him $29,674 with taxes and fees. What's the difference in price between purchasing and leasing? And then purchased. C. That's just a subtraction problem. Cost of buying with the lease is what we just found in B. Minus the cost given in question C, 29,607. So the difference is 6,815. Cents. You need some words always though, so it costs 6,815.21 cents more to buy after leasing. Lesson. Rather than buying in the first place. Now, you have some questions to work through after that. Are you going to be okay on those, Jasmine? Okay, good. I guess I'll stop the record.